All right. Hey, everybody. So this is the third time that I'm going live to try my transmission interrupted series here on YouTube. Now, I admit I'm starting to wonder. Oh, there, my phone goes. How good? I'm starting to wonder how good of an idea this particular series is. The name Transmission Interrupted. What I had in mind was that I'm interrupting the usual transmission of the propaganda that we're surrounded by to remind people about, the more important stuff, so this is only the second episode that we've had, and it's kind of turned into more of a tongue-in-cheek sort of deal where the transmission literally becomes interrupted right after transmission has been interrupted. But you know what? I haven't received any strikes or anything like that, and I am following the rules of YouTube as I was going on about in the chat during the previous one. So, I'm not calling out or saying I'm getting treated unfairly or whatever, but I'm also going to continue uploading stuff and going live as long as YouTube's going to let me do it. So here, what I'm going to do is go right to the very end of the video I put together for tonight. You guys got to see about an hour of it. Honestly, it was only about 2.5 hours long, so you're missing out on, 45 minutes. And maybe I'll upload what I want to into standalone videos in the near future. But for now, YouTube cannot take this down, okay? Because this video has been my video for so long now. This was actually like the first truther video I ever really made outside of a couple music videos. Hold on a second, Eden. Outside of a couple music videos, this video, it was a little short 20-minute documentary that I called The Sinister Shepherd. And this was back in the year, I think 2015 that I made this, maybe 16, maybe 14, somewhere in that range. And so, we're approaching a decade ago that I made this. And it was really cool because shortly after I made it, it was David Icke, of all people, the reptilian guy, he shared this video on his website on my original channel. And so it was like, and that's what kind of really gave me the idea, like, whoa, like, people, maybe I could actually make documentary movies. I'll let you know beforehand that one of the common complaints that I get on all my stuff is that my music volume in the background is too loud. And I'm not going to go into that, but it's most egregious probably in this video, the first one I ever made. But I do think that the content of this still stands strong today and really is powerful and crazy, and it's really good. So if they pull this down, then we know that I'm just getting picked on because this has already been up for 10 years. It's part of the forbidden film. It's been shared, hundreds and hundreds of times. So we'll just see what happens. But I'm just going to go ahead and play this one, and this is how we're going to end it off tonight. Thank you guys who have joined me through this struggle of just getting to you. But yeah, we're on our third stream now, and y'all have been just so gracious and fun in the comments. And so I'm still having a great time, and I'm going to start it right now. And yeah, God bless you guys. I love you all.
Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe. Our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad.
In a repeated national survey, doctors in all branches of medicine, doctors in all parts of the country were asked, "What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?" Once again, the brand named most was Camel. 7-function, remote control color television, so beautiful it enhances any decor.
Northeast of town. City officials have called for military help. Planes and troops are expected to arrive within the next 2 hours. Meanwhile,
Running consoles, handsome combinations, 18 fashion award-winning cabinets.
Here is the ultimate in television. A supreme achievement in television
Your eye
engineering.
tells why Motorola gives clearer,
A color
sharper
set.
pictures. For example,
See me at my best. See me on a Motorola.
We hid him up in the cell window.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
We bugged Mr. Blake's cell.
You what?
We bugged the cell with Arnold's tape recorder. Just listen to this, Paul.
I can't listen to that.
But, Paul.
Opie, I can't listen to that. I'm not permitted.
But, Paul, you don't understand.
Opie, I can't listen to this. Now, I told you about eavesdropping.
But, Paul, this is different.
Yes, it's worse. You overheard a conversation that was supposed to be private. Now, I can't be a party to that.
But, Paul, if you just listen to this...
Opie, I can't listen.
Paul, you're erasing the tape.
That's what I mean to do. You bugged a conversation between a lawyer and his client. Now, that's violating one of the most sacred rights of privacy.
But, Paul...
No buts.
But if it helps the law...
Opie, the law can't use this kind of help. Because whether a man is guilty or innocent, we have to find that out by due process of law.
What? What now? Now it's on television now, mate? What now? It's you. Well, I haven't got a coat or it's on. Wait a second, don't move. I'll be. Wait, I'll get a coat. Don't run. What now? I'm on, yeah? Hello? Well, oh, gee.
The Jerry Lewis Show.
29th of July. Joshua, yeah. Love You Sexy.
Confessions will be made.
Had you told me that, I would have said, that's hot.
Secrets revealed.
I love my wife, but I miss having sex with my girlfriend.
And lives changed.
Do you want to save your marriage?
I want to save my marriage, but I don't want to fight.
All by having sex in this box, in front of a live studio audience.
Parents were right, your teachers were right, even that creepy scoutmaster with the tight brown shorts was right. TV is slowly rotting your brain and turning it into a slimy, gooey, mushy blob of pudding, and there's nothing you can do about it. See? I just told you what was happening, and you're still watching TV. Amazing.
And one of the biggest tools in the hands of the masters who run this world is Hollywood. Hollywood is an incredible story. And the Druids were they were the ministers, the priests, the judges, the lawyers, they were the religious leaders, so there was a priesthood that dominated Europe. It still does. Europe is still a Druidic country, and America is a Druidic country. And unless you understand the Druidic system, then you're never going to figure out what's going on in America and England. But one of the most important symbols in the Druid system was a magic wand, like Merlin, the magician with the magic wand, and also the orchestra leaders and conductors always have a magic wand, and you have better play to the tune of the master. He directs you to play, and he directs you to stop with the magic wand. So you're dancing to his music. Magic wands were always made out of the wood of a holly tree. It's made out of Hollywood. And Hollywood is a Druidic establishment. And the symbols, the words, the terms, the stories are designed. Think about it. They do.
And that means you can't rely on the media as it is today either.
Oh, of course not. All the media in this country, radio, television, and print, is all owned by 5 corporations. All of these corporations that own the media are owned and controlled, and members of the Council of Foreign Relations sit on the board of directors.
Can you name those 5 corporations? Is that?
Not off the top of my head. Okay. I'd like to try, but I don't want to take a chance on being inaccurate. But you can trace that yourself. Okay. Remember, if you go down and you trace the ownership of a station or a newspaper, and you get to a corporation, remember that somebody owns that corporation, and it's usually another corporation. But when you trace the interlocking of all these things, when you get to the top, there's 5. And all journalists know that there's some things you don't write about and you don't talk about because you'll lose your job.
If it's on TV and a famous face says something, then it must be true. He doesn't have to show you facts or anything else. You've been brought up with these faces. That's why they keep these guys on television into their 70s and 80s. You've grown up with this father figure who's on television every night at 6 o'clock. In your house, in your room, staring right at you.
And football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world. So that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is. So they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated. So they don't ever question the emperor.
In consumer news, economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year. Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year. Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some of the spring out of the Easter Bunny step this year.
Economic factors may take some spring out of
We're in a lot of trouble. So, a rich little man with white hair died. What has that got to do with the price of rice, right? And why is that woe to us? Because you people and 62 million other Americans are listening to me right now. Because less than 3% of you people read books. Because less than 15% of you read newspapers. Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube. Television is not the truth. Television is a damn amusement park. Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. So if you want the truth, go to God. Go to your gurus. Go to yourselves. Because that's the only place you're ever going to find any real truth. Man, you're never going to get any truth from us. We'll tell you anything you want to hear. We lie like hell. We'll tell you that Kojak always gets the killer and that nobody ever gets cancer in Archie Bunker's house. And no matter how much trouble the hero is in, don't worry, just look at your watch. At the end of the hour, he's going to win. We'll tell you any shit you want to hear. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creeds. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like a tube. You eat like a tube. You raise your children like a tube. You even sex like a tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion. So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
Should have melt the brakes, but it doesn't, does it?
I want to take one issue with...
It doesn't.
I want to...
And I just question...
He's going Rosie O'Donnell on me here.
And I do... You know, wait a minute.
That's Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, I know a little bit. How can they fall at the rate of gravity? Look, they fell at the rate of gravity in powder. They blew into powder.
But if it were true, a lot of engineers would have come out before that. I want to take issue with one thing. You actually had a talk show for a small period of time. They fired you.
No. They took me off the air and paid me for 3 years and bought my silence.
You said, talking about Fox and CNN and MSNBC, you said all the stories come from upstairs, even though the host pretend it's them. You know, people need to understand. Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, and the rest of them, they're not these individual rogues setting their own agendas. These guys will deny it and say they have artistic freedom. You're either going to call me a lot. I'm telling you.
Wait a minute. So, in other words, you chose to talk about Anna Nicole Smith for a month and a half?
No, well, we
Hold on. Let me follow up on this 9/11 thing for a second. Did the government know ahead of time?
And then it got conquered by the social engineers by the 70s completely. They already had great toeholds before that in the newspapers, but when TV rolled around in the 30s and became ubiquitous by the 50s, and people stopped sitting around the table listening to stories from mom and dad about work and about life, kids stopped growing. They became arrested development because now they were being raised by the television. Now the state and the media was the center of their life. Now there was a Jim Jones cult leader every single morning and every single lunch and every single dinner, telling you what to believe, telling you what to think, telling you how to behave. Like, I love TV. That's a big juicy worm on the end of that hook. Yum. But then, within a decade or so, suddenly the males on the shows were idiots. Suddenly the women were the bosses. Suddenly the state had to take your rights to keep you safe. Suddenly there were other messages being brought in. And there we were, being desensitized, being controlled.
Once more, and they marry each other and intermarry within even smaller ranks. Now, what's interesting is that back in the 1960s, the Royal Institute of International Affairs and its American branch, Council on Foreign Relations, had one of their international meetings. They held it in England to decide which country, using its film industry, would create the international culture of the future. And this was in the newspapers back then. And it was, I think, 2 or 3 week long meeting. And it was ultimately agreed upon that Hollywood would be given the job to create the worldwide culture for the general public, for a global system.
But they've been programmed. And I'm sad because I know that it's hard for people like that to take an interest, a serious interest in world affairs, to take a serious interest in what their elected officials are doing. And they're not going to be really inclined to study or discover the deception that's being used against them. And so I'm sad because I see all of that in a flash in my mind as being an indication of how easy it is for the masses to be manipulated.
H.G. Wells talked about it too. He talked about arenas. He says arenas could be put up across the world for sports, for instance. Now at that time, sports was something that children, school children were into. Adults became adults and got onto adult things. So it was unimaginable at the time that people could actually believe that there was even a need for adult sports and entertainment, never mind having arenas built across the world. But he said we can do this and foist basically a sports culture for the males. Using a tribal system, we're all tribal to an extent. That's why we even bother to vote for a tribal leader. This is well understood. That's why we're supplied with these leaders. And because the average man was to become more disengaged from his own destiny as the expert class arose, it was decided that the males would get their outlet, basically, gradually becoming helpless as males through sports. Therefore, they'd have a tribal team they could identify with. They could cheer them on as they were winning. in their own personal lives, they were getting nowhere. They were getting disenfranchised in a sense as experts took over decision-making for them in all kinds of fields. So this was psychology at use, planned before they even implemented the sports. When radio came along, of course, they used that to the maximum. Sports for the men, soaps basically for the women, and then in came television, as I say, with its alpha state, its hypnotic state. And sure enough, around 1960s, really, 50s and 60s, it took off. It really, really took off. And men became glued on Saturday nights to the sports shows. A culture industry, which is called by its own the culture industry.
That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus. I know men who don't know anything in the world except who plays third base for the Mets. And they think that's a great accomplishment. And they meet and pat each other on the back and bond and go and cocktail and talk about what this guy that plays third base for the Mets did in last night's game. Sad. It's really sad.
Is there any room in a kind of society where these manipulations are not taking place for this type of entertainment or any type of entertainment at all?
If people understand that a game is a game, if people understand that nobody, no matter what they do, is worth paying $2 or $3 million a year for. People should be able to get rich if they want to, by the sweat of their individual labor. Okay? By going out and doing something for the world. Not by taking people's minds away from the emperor. It's a game. Football's a game. Football's a game.
Now, when you watch some of the most popular television shows, do you feel like you're being brainwashed to conform to a liberal agenda? It's an argument that we hear from conservatives regarding Hollywood and even the news all the time, that there's a liberal bias. Now, there's a book that tells the story of, quote, how television has been used over the past 60 years by Hollywood writers, producers, actors, and executives to promote their liberal ideals, to push the envelope on social and political issues, and to shape America.
Dang it. That just really bothers me. I'll tell you what. Why don't I just show this real quick and get my bearings back?
I will never forget the first time I watched Tales from the Fallen World with Tim and Amber. It was, for me, a life-changing experience. Now, I'm not easily persuaded by all that hocus-pocus, mambo-jumbo, sensational headlines, and conspiracy theory. I am simply a man who calls it like I see it. But as a world-class celebrity, I have unfortunately seen more than I care to admit. Human clones. The Illuminati. The Mark of the Beast. I'm sorry to inform you that these things exist. Now, I don't regard myself to be wise, but it seems to me that when all of humanity stands in the face of an evil force, we would do well to support the efforts of the brave individuals who stand against it. This is why I support the good work being done at Fallen World Films. So please subscribe, like, and share these videos. Let's help this fine young couple to spread their message. Because if we don't turn this thing around soon, our children will inherit less freedoms than at the Shawshank State Prison. Take it from me, a guy who sounds like Morgan Freeman.
The world is full of places to explore and things to discover. There's truly so much to see. But unfortunately, we are sometimes forced to see things that we don't like, people that we do not agree with, facts that we refuse to accept. A recent study shows that over 90% of adults who have viewed offensive materials have experienced hurt feelings. But not anymore. Introducing Sight Shield, the first and only set of glasses designed to protect your eyes from bigotry and misinformation. Thanks to Sight Shield's patented Boo-Hoo Block technology, you can now live in peace, safely hidden from everything going on around you. Here's how it works. We take an ordinary pair of sunglasses and we apply not one, not two, but 10 layers of window tint to the lenses, making it nearly impossible to see what's clearly right in front of you. This ensures that your eyes will always remain covered, even in the most bigoted and triggering environments. And here's the best part. If you order your set of Sight Shield glasses within the next 48 hours, we'll throw in a pair of our famous Fear Plug earplugs absolutely free. Now you can protect your eyes and ears from reality simultaneously. So what are you waiting for? Order yours today. Sight Shield, a proud sponsor of Fallen World Films.
All right, so still waiting for Amber to get back, and I grabbed my guitar because listen, this is the message I want you guys to take from this stream, that I don't give up. All right, and just because my stream is going to be interrupted during a show called Transmission Interrupted, that ain't going to stop me from having a good time with you guys, my subscribers, who I appreciate. You know, this is an unmonetized channel. And right now, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be promoting this video because it's broken. But here I am. We're still hanging out. So I thought I'd grab the guitar. Now, this is my brother's guitar. You see, I play I never play music anymore at all, hardly ever at all. I got 6 kids. I got a wife. I got a job that I'm gone at 50 hours a week. And then I make this channel, you know, and I'm left with very little downtime to play the guitar. But some of you know I used to be a musician back in my old days. Oh, dude, you got me with the muted again. That's funny. That is funny. So yeah, let's play one of my old songs. But I'm going to change the lyrics so it's more, so it conforms more to my the new Tim, the new bought by Christ, born again Tim. Okay, got to do this with my old songs because I used to have a different message altogether. Check this one out. This one was called My Mary. Man, Steve Stevenson knows. I don't know what I'll call it now. How about my Bible? My Bible. I'm gonna say my baby. I'm gonna say my baby. My baby, and you'll understand why I'm talking about Amber when I say that. Wanna scream. I don't wanna be associated with a nation that's killing babies. I'm talking about wake up and figure out what to fight for. No. I'm talking about wake up and figure out what to fight for. If you got nothing you would die for, then what are you even alive for? It seems to me like all I have is so much more than I'm ever gonna need. So then why am I so sad? Oh, baby girl, she knows it never call on me for all the things that I've been feeling in my daily beat. 2, 3, 'cause whenever I'm falling down, my baby, she calms me down wherever I am. Whenever I need someone to help me to overcome whatever I have become, wherever I am. Now all the men and the women and children, we're working together to build a prison. Yeah, to build a wall around the borders, put cameras on the corners, they catch the criminals. They wanted to build a safer system, which will soon become the victims. Yeah, because when you're surrounded by walls and borders, it doesn't take too long before you're the prisoner. So while you're working up a sweat to get your minimum wage, you know you're paying off a federal debt you didn't create. And it's the people getting played to fund the ones that run the game. You'll maybe win a couple hands and watch them rip it away. Liquidate everything that you've been working to make. You'll burn at the stake before you get your turn at the plate. You'll give the Federal Reserve the first portion of your pay until the only job available is serving the state. Waiting at the station trying to catch a bus and looking through my wallet for some extra bus to get some lunch, but I don't got no money. Instead I just ingest a bunch of Nessie Instead I just ingest a bunch of Nessie Crunches, honey mustard flavored pretzels plus Hawaiian punch, and that's when it hits me that everything I'm buying is a lie, and that this juice ain't even made out of real fruit, and it ain't Hawaiian. Hawaii isn't even a real state, it's just an island, and I ain't even sure I know who I am anymore. Seems the more that I learn, the less I am sure. Cause whenever I'm falling down, my baby, she calms me down wherever I am. And whenever I need someone to help me to overcome whatever I have become, whatever I am. So how's that for you guys? Man, I apologize for the mistakes. I have not picked up a guitar in a long, long time. I don't do this. You guys want another one while I'm jamming? Because it is fun. I got this one. It's like I'm trying to think of what I even have that's appropriate to play on this channel. Thank you for preparing for eternity. I got this one. How's it go? I'll check it out. Do a commercial break real quick. Another short commercial. And we'll play you guys one more song. Maybe another one, depending on how much you praise me for that one. Just kidding. But here we go.
Introducing tolerance tags, the ultimate way to connect with other woke individuals and signal your virtue to the world. Are you tired of constantly having to explain your beliefs and values to others? Wish there was an easier way to identify the like-minded individuals who share your passion for inclusivity and progressivism? Look no further than tolerance tags. These nifty little implantable microchips will connect you with a network of individuals who are just as woke as you are. With just a simple scan, you can instantly identify others who are part of the exclusive club of inclusivity and equality. No more awkward conversations or trying to explain the nuances of your beliefs to others. With tolerance tags, you can signal your virtue to the world and bask in the warm glow of your own righteousness. So what are you waiting for? Join the woke revolution and get your tolerance tag today, because nothing says I'm a good person quite like an implantable microchip in your body.
Oh, yeah, so that thing was making too much noise. At this point, we're off the rails, you guys. Just having fun. Got my guitar out. Amber's going to be blown away when she comes in and sees me on this guitar. But I remembered how my little intro went. It was like, again, so long since I played this. So just give me a second. Something like that. So sad to say it's true, but I don't really care about the damage I do. Been concealing this feeling that I'm falling apart of the dark and away for a spark to collide with my mind, and I find myself hiding. Been riding the wave, been holding your hands while I'm driving away. Oh, whoa, yeah. Oh, yeah. The people versus Mother Nature. That ain't a possible hypothesis with all this talk of prophecy regarding the apocalypse. I could never offer you an absolute solution to the natural conclusion of the dance of human evolution. There ain't no revolution in the book of Revelation. No human resolution in the wicked of devastation. Mainly it's just blood and guts and gore and war before we're divorced from the glory of the law you support. Local abortion clinics and moves. I watch maternity wards board up their doors with 2x4s. Even if it's by force, I'ma run my course until I knock this propagandist off of his high horse. I'm just a man here in the land of the lost. Somebody offer me a plan and they're just handed the cross, and I can't take that back. All Lord knows that I can't take it back. And I was so blessed. This is how I felt when I wrote this. Lord, I was out on my own, trying to get noticed. I was young, I was homeless. Oh, but you showed me just where my home is. And now it's clear that as long as I'm here, that I'ma be homeless. Somebody come set a fire to this frivolous civilization. I'm feeling this villainous vibe. They're selling us drugs and they're telling us lies. But I ain't buying what you're trying to sell. I turn my money into music and I've never left a paper trail. But I'm making deals with my rhyme saying skills. I just ain't making money and I'm still paying bills. Yo, but I stopped taking pills. I've taken a lot of spills at time and enough to heal. But I still feel relatively ill. And Lord knows I've done everything that I know how to do to bring me to you. Oh, this is how I felt when I wrote this. Lord, I was out on my own, trying to get noticed. I was young, I was homeless. But you showed my homie. And now it's clear that as long as I'm here, that I'm gonna be homeless, homeless. No, it goes like this. Oh, this part's awesome. Check it out. But you got to imagine it with like drums behind it, you know, and bass and my band and all that. Back in the day. Like sands through the hourglass, so what the days of our lives, and it's the blind leading the blind, and everybody's walking in a single file line, and I'm gonna do the talking if you sheeple don't mind, cause you people can't seem to define what you stand behind. I gotta use the form of rhyming just to make a statement. The only thing that people respond to now is entertainment, and simple minds have a hard time keeping up with mine. Sometimes that's why I try to keep it basic. Basically we're living in the days of revelation, 10,000 civilized years in the making, underneath the all-seeing, I-seeing all of our lives in the palm of this one world nation. So face it, the number one target is the Christians. They mock the name of God because they're just a bunch of witches. Hollywood celebs with their stupid superstitions and traditions want to turn around, make fun of my religion, man, but this ain't about religion. I'm trying to paint a picture that Hollywood's another thing that I'm really getting sick of. I'm sick of being sick of all the sycophantic antics of artists getting promoted by the mainstream market. Honestly, it bothers me to even call them artists. The disinformation agents, regardless of what you call it. Every good rapper use 10 Lil Waynes, but they go by different names and they all sound the same, and it's a shame. You know I never got the credit I deserve from the game. These days it's all about getting paid, maybe chasing paper planes. I think that the paper chase is only gonna make us into slaves. When are you gonna think about the children rappers when half of your fans are underage? Uninspired, overrated rappers standing on the stage. Finally got an opportunity to get a message to the world, and all they wanna talk about is getting paid. That's their prerogative, but I just gotta live for something more than that. Lord, I've been on my back. Yeah, but Lord knows that I was hopeless. That's how I felt when I wrote this. Lord, I was out of mind, trying to get home. I was lost, I was homeless. Couldn't hold down the child. Had to move back with my dad in mind. You know the routine, just till I get back on my own 2 feet again. And I was lost in sin, and I was lost in sin, and I was lost in sin, when I was lost in sin, when I was lost in sin, I was hopeless. And I didn't give a damn about the damage I do. All right, what were you guys saying? I didn't have my comments pulled up. All right. So I know I should just probably be ending this stream here pretty soon. Got this jalapeno chip banner playing in the background. But yeah, guys, it's just fun to pick up the old guitar again. Something I just don't ever do it. You know what? Well, I decided if I'm going to play one last song to say goodnight to you guys, just watch this awesome song, the one we usually end with. This time, I'm either going to end the stream after this, or I'm going to be the musician ending tonight's stream. We'll decide that in a minute.
Brother Noah, my God's talking, said he would ride on the wind and tide. When children stop, steal, and listen to me, God walked down to the blinded sea. He declared that the evil was the sent of man, and then he decided to restore the land. He spoke to Noah, Noah stopped, said, Noah, I want you to build me an ark. I want you to build it 3 cubits longer. I want you to build it big and strong. I want it 50 high and 50 wide, so it will stand the wind and tide. Oh, Noah, oh, Noah, oh, Noah, I'm just gonna ride on the wind and tide, but there's a oh, Noah, oh, Noah, oh, Noah, I'm just gonna ride on the wind and tide. My God's talking, they would ride on the wind and tide. Well, after the foundation will lay, then Noah began to hew and build. The ringing of the hammer, that judgment, the hewing of the salt, Christ and repent. 100 years he hammered and salt, building the ark by the grace of God. When the ark was done, God's voice was heard. He said, now Noah, let me tell you what to do. Calling the animals 2 by 2, so he pulled them in the ark. The 2 by 2, he called a bird, the ox with the kangaroo. And they call in Jeff, the ham in the sand. Then life began to flood the land. He raised his hands to heaven on high, shook the stars and moved from the sky, shook the mountains and troubled the sea. He went to his chariot wheel, he stepped on land, stood on the shore, and he cried that time there wouldn't be no more words. Oh no, oh no, I got to go around on the river and die for this. Oh no, oh no, oh no, I got to go around on the winning side.
All right. Some of y'all are still sticking around. Let's see if this works. But I got to go back here. All right. You guys can still see me. I'm going to end it on this one of my favorite old hymns. I don't necessarily know how to play this, but I mean, it's a classic hymn. So it, I pulled up the tablature or the chords right here. So it should be easy. All I know is I'm in the key of G. And I just love this song. So sing along at home, guys. But let's make sure I'm not muted. Let's make sure I'm not muted. Let's make sure I'm not muted. Am I muted? Hold up. Dang, this stinks. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think I'm doing my thing. All right. Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mountain fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love. Man, they just don't make them like this anymore. Because because I got to pull this down. Do 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 boom 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 boom. Here I raise my Ebenezer, hither by thy help I come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God, he to rescue me from danger, interposed his precious blood. Dude, think of those lyrics. Like, how is a little love song or any of this worldly crap gonna ever compare to this? They only gave me 3 verses, so that's all I can do. Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Whoa, that. Here's my heart, oh, take and seal it for thy courts above. Here's my heart, oh, take and seal it for thy courts above. All right. Let's go back to this thingy, see if that was so bad that you guys hated on it. All right, not muted. Sounds good. Okay. All right, this is a good place to end it, you guys. I'm surprised Amber's not home yet. Hope you all enjoyed all that predictive programming and subliminal messages stuff that I shared with y'all tonight. And I will continue doing these transmission interrupted streams. Just expect when it happens for it to get interrupted, So make sure you got your trigger finger ready to go, so that we can reload up the new streams. In the meantime, I got other videos coming up this week, maybe 2, and I have began the writing process of my next documentary. Have a great night too. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah, appreciate it. I did that for you guys. I hope that it praise God, and I hope that it made you guys feel at peace in your own hearts and all that stuff. Love you guys. Good night. I already used my usual sign-off thing. Oh, man. So that's just what it is. I guess I'm just going to end broadcast. But why not go informal after everything we've been through together tonight? All right. Love you guys. God bless you. Bye. Bye.